All right, so things between Blaise and her mother just became quite serious. Chrisean and Carissa recently made some unsettling remarks regarding the alleged involvement of Chrisean in her ex-boyfriend Ronnie's D3 ADH. We already know that Carissa and Chrisean don't get along well and don't see each other very often. But these new claims are shocking to say the least. Ronnie has been in the news lately because he said that Chrisean's son, Chrisean Jr. Carissa quickly jumped in and claimed that Chrisean allegedly knew something about it, implying that Chrisean might have set the whole thing up to protect her secret. This is a complete mess, so let's break it down. He is his son, and not Blake. He claimed to have some evidence to support his claim, and was on the path to getting a court-ordered DNA test to prove paternity when he was tragically killed right in front of his house. She seemed unable to avoid getting involved in circumstances that didn't interest her, even when they had nothing to do with her. She made it apparent that she didn't like Chrisean, but it wasn't the whole of her problems. She had an equally strong relationship with Belle's other baby mama, Jaden Alexis, but it was obvious that they weren't exactly friends, and that their back and forth never seemed to end well. Because of how frequently Carissa and Blueface made fun of each other on social media, fans had even begun to wonder if they truly loved each other. They would argue online and drat each other in public, leaving people to wonder if there was more going on beneath the surface or if it was all for show. For instance, when Blueface proposed to Jaden, Carissa chose to act entitled and shame him for it by asking, "Did this ninja?" Blueface went on a tirade against his own mother, screaming, "Postering, and I'm a post mine. You want to compare booties?" in response to his proposal to the maid. "Oh well, it's October now. Tell the people you married the maid just in case you go to prison." Carissa, yes. Let's make a comparison. Let's see what kind of ring that old booty got, and then what kind of ring that fresh booty got. My wife always wins. And Blueface keeps pulling his mother farther. Carissa got married. He added, "My mother has been married 3 times, had 3 children by 3 different men, and never married any of those men. Only random men she liked with a lot of money so she could divorce and take from them. A bum after all those D's she took. She settled for that little ring." Finally, he compared their rings, saying, "I could never respect her as a woman." The comparison is obvious. If you have more than one baby daddy as a woman, you're a zero-e. Life is that simple. Pick one and go. At this point, we have to wonder if she even likes her own son, because what kind of mother and son duo do we have to look at on social media? It's unsettling. Mom's ring is a carrot with 5 stones surrounding it. I won't even tell you Jaden's ring credentials because it will be embarrassing, to say the least. And when you add Chris into the mix, I believe you can already see how messy the story is going to get. I don't mean to be critical, but if we're being honest for even a little while, it was clear that this whole situation was going to be a hot mess from the moment Chrisean announced her pregnancy. Come on, Blueface and Chrisean were already the epitome of chaos. Nothing about their relationship screamed stability or... Though it didn't take long for Blueface to start acting out, he wasted no time in claiming on social media that the baby wasn't even his. The most outrageous part was when he accused Chrisean of attempting to pass off another man's child as his own. At that point, it was like watching a train wreck in slow motion. Health was always involved in drama, so adding a baby was just a recipe for disaster waiting to happen. People were shaking their heads at the back and forth motion because it was the same chaotic energy they had been giving off all along, only with a new layer of mess added on top. It seemed like the more they tried to go public with their problems, the more complicated things got, and nobody really knew what was real anymore. But one thing was certain, their situation would never be nearly calm or stable. Blueface tweeted to answer your question, "Yes, me." And Rock is officially finished. Before she revealed that she was expecting someone else's child rather than mine, I tried it, and it was obviously not giving. Rock has dated 10 different guys in the past year, but once a DNA test revealed that it was his and not Blueface's baby, Blueface wasted no time in denying that he was the father. From the minute the news was released, he responded with no hesitation, doubt, or uncertainty. There was the usual messy back and forth, of course, with both of them having their own emotions and baggage tied up in the situation. But eventually, Chrisean agreed to take the test, and when the results were in, it was evident that Blueface was, in fact, the father. He was adamant about rejecting the idea and didn't even consider it for a second. Instead, he insisted that Chrisean take a DNA test to settle any questions once and for all.
His father is not excluded as the biological father of the fetus.
Let me get the father. Babe, that's me, your father.
Is not
You're the father?
Nobody thought that he would change his behavior or show any remorse after learning that he was the father. But we were all wrong. Instead of taking action or improving in any way, his behavior worsened. He didn't become any softer. On the contrary, he became more aggressive in his approach, and he began pressuring Chrisean to get rid of the baby, saying that he would continue to treat her badly, as he always had. It was obvious that he had no intention of being a supportive partner or a father. He would send texts to Chrisean saying things like, he didn't just pressure her to end the pregnancy, he went further and tried to force her into it. When Chrisean refused, Blueface didn't hold back and went on Twitter, publicly declaring that he didn't want the baby and making it clear that he had no intention of ever paying child support. "I'm going to be a cheater forever. I won't even hide it for real. You don't want to be stuck at home with a baby while I'm on the next young asterisk. A baby will make us stuck, and you don't want to be stuck with someone like me given how I already feel about you." It seemed as though he wanted everyone to know that he was clearing his hands of the matter. He said, "Whoever the judge is on my child support case, I told this girl I don't want the baby, and she still has time to get rid of it, and she's forcing it on me, so you better make the price right. She's trying to trap me. Don't let her get you. She still has time to end all this." Throughout Chrisean's pregnancy, Blueface made it very clear to everyone who would read or listen, especially to her, that he had no desire to be involved with her or the child. He was firm in his stance, putting constant pressure on Chrisean to abort the child without demonstrating any responsibility or assistance. Despite all of this, Chrisean persisted in lobbying Blueface to accept the child, trying to persuade him and the public that he was the father despite his actions suggesting otherwise. However, when the baby was born, Blueface abruptly changed his attitude, acting protective and worried about the child and threatening to take custody from Kay if things didn't work out. It was as if a switch was flipped. The true shock came when Chrisean decided not to include Blueface's last name on the birth certificate, instead naming the child after herself and giving it her first and last names. Chrisean Malone Jr. Chrisean had been outspoken about the baby being Blake during the pregnancy, doing everything she could to convince him and the world that he was the father. So to leave him out of the birth certificate and not even give him his last name raised many questions. A week after Chrisean gave birth, it seemed as though she and Blueface had worked things out somehow, and everything seemed to be going smoothly. Blueface even flew out to visit her and the baby in Baltimore, and the pictures they shared painted a picture of a happy couple. However, This public and official approach did not sit well with many people, especially considering how hard she had pushed him to accept the role of fatherhood. When the family was reunited, he spent some time bonding with the child and appeared to be a proud father during their one-on-one time together. At this point, it would have made sense for Pran to add Blake's name to the birth certificate because, after all, they were back together. Things appeared to be getting better, and he was there spending time with the child like a father should. This could have been the time to formally establish their relationship and the baby's paternity, but she declined, which caused many people to wonder if they were really getting back on track. Certificate, but she chose not to, leaving many wondering why she wouldn't just do that simple thing if their relationship was so great. Of course, in typical Blueface manner, it didn't take long for him to start causing havoc once more. Cran accused him of attempting to retaliate against her for not giving the child his last name, believing that he was using their child as a means of punishing her for omitting him from the birth certificate. She posted, "I'm unfit because he's not a Jonathan Jr., but he's a Chrisean Jr. Tell them that you only want to take my child because I have given him my name. I'm stuck with manipulating. A manipulator, believing me to be slow or stupid. And please, be out of you. Care more about your own probation than using my child as leverage. I have supporting documentation. Jonathan Porter now that the baby was born." Some started to speculate that Cran might have fabricated the DNA test entirely, which would explain why he still hadn't added Blueface to the birth certificate. The moment she hesitated to include his name, Cran X, after claiming that the baby was his, Ronnie shared side-by-side photos of the two of them to demonstrate how similar they appeared, saying, "You are not the father, Blueface." When Cran liked a post implying that Ronnie was the baby's father, it appeared to support the rumors. Ronnie then produced a video proving that he had had sex with Cran around the time she became pregnant with Chrisean Jr.
Concrete evidence right here for y'all. All I want y'all to do is hold people accountable so that Chrisean Jesus Porter can have the life that he deserves and the father that he deserves. All I'm saying is I think that what happened was Blue told her to go get an abortion. In the process of her going to abort his baby, she got pregnant with mine. And that's why she's scared to do a DNA test. Rock Snipe.
Yeah, if it really wasn't an issue, she would just go ahead and just do the test. Like,
I want to make sure that Chrisean, Eugenia, Malone hears me loud and clear. Make this easier for me and make this easier for yourself by doing the right thing. You may be going through postpartum right now. You may be going through the mental baggage of being a mother and not having a good role model of a mother. You need someone that will hold you accountable and that will help Junior get the proper care that he needs. At the end of the day,
as evidence of Chrisean's dishonesty, Blueface took to Twitter, saying, "I knew something was off. I don't think that's my baby. That DNA test was a little weird when I read it. It seemed fake, and I had no control over that test. Plus, why would you have a baby and be more when you and the alleged father live in LA? And the guy claiming the baby lives in Buer? I think they look a lot alike, more than me. What do you think?" he continued. I got one baby mama and 2 kids until further. He realized that the envelope containing the DNA test was already open when Chrisean handed it to him, saying, I didn't even think about that. The paper was folded up and beat up. More test results never look like that. He also confirmed that he had performed a covert DNA test that came back negative. Tell me why I snuck and swabbed the baby DNA test results came in, and I'm not the father, he said. This was the best news I've received all year. Approaching it, but it's unquestionably in my best interest. Thank you. With all the recent events over the past few weeks, Ronnie's insistence on getting another DNA test has raised many questions about what's actually happening behind the scenes. And there are also rumors that the baby has some kind of disability, with Chrisean allegedly refusing to seek medical attention because she doesn't want to. When news broke about Ronnie's health, it took a tragic turn. Despite efforts to get help, he was shot right outside his house and died before reaching the hospital. It's heartbreaking because he was so young, just 24, and had so much ahead of him. His passing is still mysterious, and we don't have all the answers. The truth is that there's a lot more to the story than we currently know, and it's messy as F. Details, but there are already rumors of conspiracy. He may have been going to expose Chrisean for lying about the pregnancy, concealing the truth, and possibly starting all of this turmoil, according to others, which is why he was singled out. As I mentioned earlier, Chrisean dislikes Chrisean and has even criticized Chrisean for producing a child with a blue face. You won't believe this, but the mother of the bride has been implying that Chrisean may have been responsible.
Panties and realized we slept with a dude that already had a ready-made family, and he can't come over here and play like this, because that would destroy his foundation over there. So he can't come over here and play house with this baby.
Therefore, Chrisean has always been known to stir things up. In the last few days, she has been dragging Chan for filth, accusing her of harming Lil Kren Jr. by drinking during her pregnancy and failing to take the child to doctor's appointments. Chrisean isn't holding back at all, airing out all these accusations as if they were unimportant. It's obvious that she's trying to get under Filth's skin.
I'm suffering from what I see too, so I'm reacting, I'm angry, I'm hurt, I'm a lot of things too. But I'm not reaching out to all you that was standing there while the baby was being made and did fucking nothing. You did nothing! You watched her. You watched her because you were scared she was in control of the money. I wouldn't have gave a fuck about that money. I'd have snatched her up and took her to home and made sure she at least got the mental health and counseling that she needed during her pregnancy so that she wouldn't have to regret it for the rest of her life. So yes, we're all angry, but don't point the finger at me. Because I ain't never smoked no weed, drunk no liquor. I never did nothing while I was pregnant. I took my vitamins every fucking day, even though they made me nauseous. And then I went in and I never missed a doctor's appointment.
Chrisean commented, I'm at a loss for words, and my sympathies to Ronnie's mother and family after his death. It never occurred to me to say this, but I'm thankful that my son is in jail. I'll never blame someone until they are proven guilty, since the Lord told me to pray about everything and not provide false testimony. Whatever you believe, God can help us all. However, what do you all think about this? Do you think that Cha might be responsible for this? Or do you think that Chrisean is just starting more drama as usual? Please share your thoughts in the comments section below, and then watch this next video.